Hi, welcome to the completed ticket challenge. This is the video. Hi, welcome to the completed ticket challenge. This is the last video for week 2. So today's really exciting. Today you're going to start one of the key things for really improving communication and keeping accountability in your team. It's the huddle meeting. Now, what is that? A huddle is just a quick meeting every day where you go over your work with your team and you make sure everything can keep moving forward. It's short, 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 15 at the most. Other people call it a stand-up meeting or a scrum meeting, or just different names for the same thing. So here's why this is really important, whether you're all in the same office or you're a remote team. Um, it guarantees that everybody is on the same page about what their responsibility is, as well as what are the priorities for the team for that day. It keeps everybody accountable for their own work, because this is the meeting where if your people are not working the way that you've taught them, they're starting work before they're finishing work, or they're letting things get too neglected. This is where you're going to call that out, because they're going to have to report on those things, why they have so much work started, or why they have so much work neglected. Also, it's great for just quick communication to allow anything that's blocked in your team to get it unblocked really quickly. So, some tips for doing this meeting well. It needs to be at a regular time every day. We have our huddle at 9 a.m. sharp every day. Um, if you're not super convinced about the value of this, and you think you can't do it every day, then maybe you can get away with doing it like Monday, Wednesday, Friday. But my personal opinion is that you should be doing it every day, because when it's short, the value is really, really high. It shouldn't take any more than 15 minutes once you're familiar with it. If today and next week or so it takes a little bit longer because you're just getting into it, and because you've got more work to review as you're getting control of this, and it takes a little more than 15 minutes, that's okay. But once you're getting into it, 5, 10, at the most 15 minutes. So how are you actually going to do it? You're going to use your member swim lane board so you can see the work as it's assigned to all your different members. Now, if you're in person, find the biggest monitor, huddle around that biggest monitor, and everybody. Go down the swim lanes and everybody reports. If you're a remote team, somebody's going to be sharing their screen so that everybody gets the exact same view of what you're talking about. Each member, as you go down the swim lanes, each member is going to report on tickets where they need some help from someone else, maybe it's a bit above their grade, or where it requires a bit of coordination. Just a quick summary, a quick decision about how they're going to get the help or coordination they need to go forward with that. No detailed planning. If anything requires a detailed explanation or a long, a bigger decision, don't do that in the meeting. Just do it immediately after the meeting. Um, this week, you're not going to be having your members report on the neglected work. Okay, so just skip that for this week. That is an important part of the meeting, but to keep things manageable, we'll leave that part until next week. Some people also say that the meeting is good for giving personal updates. Like got to be leaving the office early tomorrow, or whatever. Some people say give a quick report on everything you did yesterday, and just everything that you're doing today, even the things that don't necessarily require help or coordination. If that provides value and you can keep it quick, go ahead and do that. Now, remember, you're the team lead. This is your meeting. Don't be afraid to keep it on track. That means you start on time. You don't start 5 minutes late because you're waiting for some stragglers. No, you let the late people be late. That's fine. Also, be sure that you are uh, serious about helping people understand, like, what's the right level of detail to be sharing. So it's likely that some of your people will not have done this sort of meeting before, and they're going to tend to give extended explanations, or questions about things. Just the first few days, it's totally fine to say, okay, for this kind of meeting, actually, that's a little too much detail. We have what we need, for now. Or that's the sort of thing that you can share afterward with just the people who that's relevant to. Totally fine to do that of course, nicely at the first few days. If someone still doesn't get it after a few days, then just do that nicely, but do it privately. I've had to do that once or twice in meetings that I've been leading. I find that you don't have to do that more than once with any individual. But that is your responsibility, and it's totally fine to make sure that it keeps moving forward. Um, if you let it get too extended, then people your technicians are going to not see it as something valuable. If you're serious about keeping it moving so that it's valuable to everybody, then I think your technicians will certainly appreciate the clarity that this meeting brings too. That's what I've found in all the places where I've ever led meetings like this.